Hi everyone, this is Julianne Victoria of Through the Peacock's Eyes. Welcome to my channel. So I'm in a different place in the house. That's because I can watch baby while I'm recording, so hopefully this works out. So this is another fun VR tag video. So the tag is 11 paranormal questions, and it was started by Rochelle at Amethyst Ascension. Yeah, this one is a really fun one. Okay, so the first question is, do you believe in aliens? And I say yes. You know, why would we be the only beings? Why would this be the only planet in the vast universe or multiverses that has beings, right? I also believe that what we call aliens aren't all necessarily, or what commonly is thought of as aliens, like grays and whites and reptilians, and you can look it up online if you're not familiar. That not all aliens are necessarily beings that traveled on a spaceship here, and I think that is actually rare. I think they're interdimensional beings, aliens, and I also believe, and this is what I've kind of explored through meditation and journeying, that some alien encounters are us, human beings, visiting either from the future, possibly from the past, I mean really ancient past, like the past golden age, or just traveling through time and space. So believing in aliens, I mean, it's a huge thing to me. It's many things. So my answer is yes, right? And I'm going to jump to the last question because it's connected to this. Number 11 is, have you ever been abducted or contacted by aliens? I don't believe I've ever been abducted. I have no memory of abductions. I've had no fear of it or worry of it, like nothing that would indicate to me that I've been abducted and don't remember it. And the fact that I've had many, many paranormal experiences makes me think that, sorry, one of my dogs wants attention, makes me think that if I had been, there's something intuitively within me that would know that. So the answer for that is no. Sorry, one of my dogs just burped. I'm not gonna edit this out. Have I been contacted by aliens? I don't feel I have directly, but I have had experiences. Like one morning, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I was walking the dogs very early. It was probably about 5 a.m. And I looked up at the stars, and I was looking at, I think it was Rigel, Rigel, that star. And next to it was another star. And I thought, what is that? And the one next to it sort of burst. And then I saw a white line, and it disappeared, like it went into, I don't know, a wormhole or something. I think that was an alien ship or an alien dimensional rift that it went through. So I cannot verify any of that. And then there was a time where, probably around that same time, because this is when I was living in San Francisco in the haunted house, where I believe there are some major portals. I woke up in the middle of the night and there were like booms in the clouds. It was not a holiday. There were no fireworks. I looked up online to see if there was any sort of fireworks celebration for whatever reason. There was nothing. There was just booms moving around in the clouds, in the sky. It was middle of the night, but I could tell it was cloudy because when you're in a city, the clouds light up at night. Couldn't find anything going on in the city that would cause that. I looked at, any like people putting like police reports and complaining about noises. It was like something only I heard. Maybe some other people did, but it wasn't something people reported anywhere online. And it reminded me of stories when I was studying, like medieval European history about booms in the sky, things like that. And so I did some research and I found some audio online that sounded just like it. And I did write, so I think this was aliens. or it was some sort of dimensional shift thing going on, which may be one and the same. And I actually wrote a blog post on it back then. I'll try to find it and I'll link it below for you guys if you want to go read about it. I might also post it in the community tab on my channel page. So I've been posting there if you haven't been checking or following, so check that out once in a while. Okay, next question. Number 2, do you recall a past life? I think I wouldn't say I recall a past life, but I have explored through meditation, through journeying, other lifetimes. And I won't necessarily say that they are in our linear past. I think they can be any time. So I'll say yes. It's very complicated. It would take hours to talk about them. So I'll say yes. Number 3, do you believe in mermaids? I think so. I think it's possible. I think it's definitely possible. I think some stories of mermaids were probably porpoises or seals, or like some sort of sea elemental being. But I do think mermaids are possible. Okay, number 4. Do you believe in Bigfoot? Yes, I do. Not just sort of like mermaids where like, sure, it's possible that some, ape, human, hominid creature evolved. But it's something I really feel deeply. I haven't had any Bigfoot encounters, but it's something that just fascinates me. So I don't know if maybe this is from a past life or something, or maybe part growing up in Northern California, because there were always stories of Bigfoot in the redwoods, and then living in Seattle, Washington for 15 years. There's tons of stories of Bigfoot in the Cascades, and I think in the Olympic Mountains. So yes, I believe in Bigfoot. And it's funny because occasionally, if I'm sort of like decompressing, I'll watch YouTube videos about Bigfoot research, like good ones, not like gimmicky TV show ones. And there's actually a channel, I believe the name is Bob Gimlin, that I like to watch. Like he does serious research into Bigfoot, so I find it fascinating. Okay, number 5, do you believe in ghosts? Yes, absolutely. I will link on screen here, and I'll try to remember to link it in the description or the comments below. I grew up in a haunted house video, if you haven't seen it. I have hours and hours of ghost stories I could give you. So yes, I believe in ghosts. I've seen them, I've experienced them, I've heard them, all sorts of things. Okay, number 6, do you believe in vampires? No and yes. Not as sort of like the Hollywood fairy tale even vampire. Yes, there was Vlad the Impaler. There was like some queen in, I think, Transylvania who bathed in maiden's blood, but they were humans using human blood, right? They weren't people who have died or their blood got sucked out and they turned into vampires. I actually loved watching vampire movies when I was a kid, like in the 1980s, like Lost Boys and all that. But I don't believe that that's what vampires are. There are definitely people who are emotional vampires who suck your energy, energetic vampires. They're also called narcissists. And I do believe, because I've had an experience of entities, shadow beings, other beings that can try to suck your energy. I made a video about that. I can't remember which one. It's not the haunted house one. I'll see if I can remember which one that is and find it, where my energy was being sucked out. It's an interesting story. So I'll find that video, do my best to find it. Can't remember what I called it. I think it was like story time. So I'll look for it. I'll link that on screen here towards the end of this video and try to remember to link it below for you as well. Number 7, have you ever astral traveled that you remember? So this is a big yes. Since infancy, I want to say birth, I have been astral traveling or journeying through meditation. When I was a little girl, I used to rock, like I mean, some autistic kids do, but I'm not autistic. And I would go into trance, an astral travel, or I call it shamanic journeying. That's where I journey to many past lives, other dimensions. That is like second nature to me. That's like walking to me. I know it's a weird thing to say. It's not something I ever studied or been taught. It's like I was born knowing it. And I think that comes from ancestral lines of shaman healers, as well as past life experience. So yeah, I remember I can go back and relive them too. Okay, number 8, have you ever had sleep paralysis? Yes, there's definitely a few distinct times. I mean, there's times where you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm so tired, I can't move, and your body's trying to re-wake up, or maybe your soul's coming back into your body to re-wake up. But there have been several times, and it's usually the same experience, where I'm lying in bed and I can't move, and I also feel like I'm being suffocated. I haven't had this in a long time, because I think some work that I've done has cleared some of this out or removed this thing from happening. But it's like I'm being suffocated, and I summon all my energy up to take a breath, and then it's done. So they have been scary experiences, but it hasn't happened in a long time. And it did happen, most of it happened probably about 10 years ago, 9, 10, 11 years ago. It definitely reflects where I was in my life and what I was experiencing and going through. Okay, number 9. Do you have any of the 8 psychic clairs? Yes. So 8, what are they? I didn't look them up or write them down. So clairvoyance, yes. So seeing. Clairaudience, yes. Clairsentience or clairsentience, feeling. I feel a lot in my physical body. Claircognizance, knowing, yes. Then there's smell, clair, olfactory. I don't know what it's called. Occasionally, I will occasionally smell my grandma's face powder, things like that. So 6 would be touch, clair, tactileness. I don't know what it's called. I wouldn't call that a clair, but I have felt things. I'm not sure on that one. 7, what else would there be? What's the other sense? Taste. Clair tasting? No, not really. So 8, what would be the 8th one? I'm not sure. But yes, I have lots of the clairs. And I actually have to remember to turn them off because they're kind of always on. And I think that's just because my childhood, I was like so a sponge for so much. And I think that's why I astral traveled a lot too, to part escape the intense absorption of stuff that I was picking up. Okay, and the last question, number 10, because I already did 11. Have you ever had a paranormal experience? Yes, as I've already mentioned some, and I'll link those other videos on screen, and I'll try to link them below, either in the description, or I might do it in the comments because that might be a little easier. Yeah, lots, regularly, not every day, maybe at least one a month, a whole lot, and hopefully I'll be able to make more videos on those, baby boss permitting. Okay, so that is my VR to Rochelle, Amethyst Ascension. 11 paranormal questions. So much to talk about here. I could talk for hours. All right, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing, and I'll see you back here soon.